Hello everybody and welcome to another Saturday guitar class. We've got something a little bit different for this week, but before we proceed, I'd urge you to hit the subscribe button, hit the like, and hit the bell, just so that you know next time I come in with a new video. Now let's get on with the class. So today we're going to talk about something that some of you might have faced in the past. I know I've dealt with this a fair amount of times, and this is writer's block. It's basically when you sit in your creative corner and you try to pour your heart out. You're trying to come up with something that tinkles your heartstrings, but nothing comes out. Okay, and this can be pretty terrible and pretty frustrating, and it might be what will make some people quit from a project, from a record, from a song, from anything, a script if you're into this cinema and stuff. So today I'm going to share a few things that are obviously a little bit more music related, and things that I like to do whenever I feel like I've hit the wall. Let's go. I think the first really important thing is that we oftentimes put extreme expectations and want great things to happen real quickly. So we kind of want to sit down and write the next, I don't know, Bohemian Rhapsody or you name it. And that often puts a barrier in us nurturing ideas that might not necessarily seem so good at first, but that could potentially end up being something beautiful. You oftentimes hear of in making of documentaries, bands talking about a song that they didn't even want to use in the first place, and ultimately that ended up being a very monumental moment in that record. So I think, and of course you wanna write something amazing, but I think sitting in a writing session or a creative session with the expectation that everything that comes out has to straight away feel like sort of a big or monumental kind of piece is ultimately counterproductive. And on a more practical level, like if you feel like nothing comes out, just try to nurture an idea that's quite contrary of something that you'd usually do. And I'll tell you a story about my first record, Daffodil. I had pretty much all the songs done, but I was missing one song, and that just wasn't coming. I wanted to have about roughly 45-50 minutes of music, and I needed one more song. And no idea was coming, so I was like, well, what's something that I never use on the guitar? Well, I rarely used harmonics, I never play them. So I said, okay, well, let me try and mess around with that, right? So I was messing around and I came up with this little thing. In 7, and so I just looped it. So after that I was like, well, that's actually not too bad. Let me see if I can put some chords underneath that. And it just kind of clicked. Something about that idea made me just see the imagery and the song just sort of happened.
I remember when you used to speak of things that.
So I think this is a very important step, and it ties on with the first sort of tip. Is don't be too precious about it. It doesn't have to seem like a masterpiece straight away, but if you nurture it, it might end up into something that resonates at least with you. And finally, when the mind gets too tired or a bit stagnant, a bit of physical activity always helps. So take if you're on a creative session and nothing happens, you can just take a 15-minute sort of break, grab a cup of coffee or cup of tea or whatever it is that you're drinking, and take a walk, or have a short sprint around the block or whatever it is the neighborhood, sound American. I don't live in America. And just come back, and that might just be the thing you needed to sit down and actually write something. So that's it for this Saturday's guitar class creative sort of segment. If you enjoyed this video, you can let me know in the comments, because who doesn't like a bit of love, you know? And you can share the video with your friends or your enemies, if you have enemies. I don't know, bit of a heavy word. Yeah, we'll be back next week. Until then, stay classy, stay sassy, and I will see you very soon. Cheers.